Okay, I'd like everybody to make sure you have a pencil and a calculator. If you don't have a calculator, you may borrow a class calculator right up here. Okay, but take one out, please. This is going to be document number 143, and we're going to continue talking about choosing the best measure. The best measure. And we continue to look at statistics. Just put your name on it. Today is the 27th, and this is doc 143. Quick little review before we get into the worksheet for today. The new lesson is what is median? What does it mean? Again, not just how to calculate it, but what is the median? A hand? Hands? Looking for at least 3 hands before I choose someone. There's one. Are you a second hand? Okay, 2, 1 more. Bethany, okay. So Cameron this time?
When you add them all up and then divide by how many numbers there are?
That's not the median. Okay.
Oh, the median.
Yeah.
Is you wind them all up from smallest to greatest, and you cross out smallest from greatest, and you get your median.
That's how we do it. And what is it though? If we had to say what it is, it would be the middle. Very good. And the average or the mean, what do we learn about that? What's that? Some hands on that. 1, 2, 1 more. Demarius, do you remember what the mean is?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll count to this the third one. Demarius, what is the mean?
The mean is
Not how to calculate it, but what is it? It's how you're doing it. Remember, does this help your memory at all?
balance.
Balance? What about balance? Okay, getting closer. Michaela?
It's the measurement of
It's a measure of central tendency. I love the way you said that. It's a big term. That's very true. Let's keep going with the thought. Okay, Ben?
average.
It's the average. It's the balance point. Remember that? The balance point. So if we found a balance point of all the numbers spread out on our number line, that would be the average. Good. Okay. Remember we talked last week about how sometimes one is better than the other, median or mean, in order to look at and describe a group of numbers, or a group of data. So that's what we want to talk about today, as to which helps us to describe the data better. So let's take a look at a table of data. Give me the papers. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at our data. Just a little bit bigger. Do I have volunteer readers? Okay. Volunteer? Lexi? Quick volunteers?
Estimates on the population of the Phoenix Valley are shown in the table at the right. The population
Okay, so we're given the table of city populations. Let's take a look. And what we're going to ask you to do first is to have a gut feel, an estimate of what we think the average is going to be. So it says populations have been rounded to the nearest 1,000. Estimates of the population of the cities. So these are estimates. They're not exactly actual head counts, but we can see that in Durango, 17,000, Montrose, 18,000, and so on. Okay, and all of them are around 17, 18, 66,000, and so on. So just by looking at those, what do you think? Let's just kind of get a gut feel or a ballpark for what we think the balance point would be if we were to take all these numbers and put them on a number line. Where would the balance point be, the average? Just, and we know we're not going to nail it exactly. We know that. So don't be afraid to raise your hand. But just a gut feel. Okay, Demarius?
I think it will be in the middle.
It would be what?
In the middle.
It would be in the middle. Can you give me a number where you think, if these are the values, where do you think the balance might be?
17,000.
17,000, okay. These are just estimates. Maybe a few more. Okay, Michaela? 16. Maybe a couple more. Change your mind? What? 18. You want to go 18? All right. Bethany, what do you think? 66.
Not 66.
Right, 66,000, right. Okay, because we do have a 66,000 there. And maybe one more. Okay, Cameron?
I think 17,000.
17,000 again. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so your job right now is going to be to calculate the mean, to calculate that average, okay, with your calculators. And again, who wants to remind us of the process and how to do that? Aiden, how do we calculate the average again?
You add all of them up and you divide how many there are.
So you add all these up, and how many would that be in this case?
By counting all of the 7.
Yes.
7.
7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. You just checking. Okay, so add those up and divide by 7, and we'll see what we get. I'm going to start to write some of these down. The actual value now. And remember, I told you at the beginning of the school year, if you want, this is like a little extra, but if you ever want to talk about what is the average, there's a symbol for that in mathematics. And it goes like this. It's an X with a little hat. That means average. We call it X bar. Okay, so that means the average. So what's our X bar? Okay, right?
24,000.
24?
24,000.
Say it louder, please.
24,000.
24,000. Okay, anybody want to second that? Okay. 24 again, okay. So we have 2 people who think it's that. Anybody disagree that it's 24,000? Okay, so it turned out that it's actually 24,000. Now, thousands are a lot. So if we're off by our estimate, our best closest estimate was 18,000. That would have been off by 6,000. So we were off a little bit, you know. But again, it's by looking at the data and also taking into account that I'm going to guess you guys haven't done too much estimating before on the averages. So that's not a bad average. That's actually pretty good. 18 came in 18,000. All right. Now, what's next? We're going to take the same data and find the median. Right, and a reminder of the median. Who wants to remind us of that process? One more time. I think we heard it earlier, but one more time. Okay, Demarius?
Right, are you asking what
How do you do it? Right. How do you get the median?
put them in order and I forgot.
All right, Demarius is saying we're going to put them in order. Is that enough? Do we have to do a little bit more? Put them in order. put all the numbers in order, from lowest to highest. Ben, what do we do after we put them in order? I think you know, but it didn't come out right. Go ahead. High, low, high, low, high, low, till you get to the middle, and if you have two left over, what do? Divide them, and get the average of the two. Okay, all right. So we're going to do that next.